I wake up to the same old fight, chasing shadows in the night. Promises made, but I let them fade. Caught in the cycle, I'm feeling betrayed. Round and round, I'm losing ground. Trying to break free, but I can't see. These negative patterns are haunting me. Nights turn to days, I'm losing my way. Thought I found peace, but it's led me astray. Chasing the high, but it only brings pain. The more I run, the less I gain.
Hey everybody, hey, and welcome to another session of Taureca Say It Again. And today's session, I want to talk about cost. Now, if you have a flourishing relationship, you all communicate with one another, you do your check-ins, I'm not talking to you. This session is to encourage people to examine not just why you stay, but what staying is costing you. Yeah, you heard me. What is it costing you? No, I'm not talking about finances, but for some, it could be. They could be paying somebody to be with them. My book, it deals with unhealthy relationships and how it could become an addictive pattern. All right. I share my personal experience as well as I also share out testimonies from other women that have undergone some addictive patterns in their relationship or what you might have considered to be toxic. So my question for today's session, what's the cost of staying in a toxic relationship too long? You want me to say it again? What's the cost of staying in a toxic relationship? When is it? When is it considered too long? You've heard it before. If he or she don't leave, somebody gonna get hurt. At what point does loyalty become self-destruction? Is there ever a benefit to staying in a toxic relationship? I don't think so. But some do. Or at least their actions feel as such. Or do the costs always outweigh the reward? Now, I want to talk about the pros and the cons. I just said, is there a benefit? Is there considered a pro? I'm going to say a possible pro that people believe they have when they are in these relationships. We'll say some common reasons people convince themselves to stay. 1, temporary financial stability. We've talked about this before, and you will hear some of the things that we've discussed in various sessions. So 1, being temporary financial stability. For some, that might be a pro. 2, keeping the family together for the children. But that leaves me with a whole bunch of other questions, because is it really good to keep the family together if y'all fighting in front of the kids? If y'all always arguing and degrading one another? Is that really good? Or is that harmful and detrimental to your child's psyche? 3, not being alone. Just wanting to have that body there. 4, comfort with familiarity. That's a key word we've dealt with before, in depth. 5, hope that the other person will eventually change. And we know we can't change nobody now. The change will come when they're ready, when they want to. 6, y'all have this shared history. Y'all go way back. Y'all done invested some time. So shared history and emotional investment. That's 6. 7, avoiding the pain of starting over. You know, I don't want to have to start over again. Learning somebody all over again. What they like, what they don't like. I've given about 7, and I'm sure you have some of your own. What could be considered a pro? But the thing about it, they provide short-term comfort. They don't resolve the long-term problem. It's not helping anything. So now let's talk about the cons, or we'll say the real cost. 1, loss of self-worth. And confidence. Increased anxiety. That's 2. The anxiety, the depression, or the chronic stress. Just out here stressing what he or she's doing. Where are they? Who are they doing? We can go on and on. 3, walking on eggshells every day. Don't really know what to say because it might make your partner upset. That was a thing for me. I'm like, I had to think about that thing. Like, why? Why am I doing this? If this supposed to be my house too. How you get to walk around the house with your chest puffed up, say what you want, but I can't walk around the house with my chest puffed up? Huh? No, that's the problem. We should be able to equally speak our mind respectfully. Yeah. Listen as you want me to listen to you. 4, teaching your children unhealthy relationship patterns. And that's kind of what I said when we talked about those pros. When I say, is it really because you stand together for the children? Or you'll wait till they get older? Is it really a pro? So now we got it where it belongs, over here in the con section. 5, losing years that could have been spent healing and growing. You're just wasting time arguing with the person, competing with the person. 6, emotional exhaustion. Yes, just mentally draining. All this back and forth. 7, isolation from family and friends. You've heard stories. He or she kept me from the family. Or maybe you just was going through so much that you just didn't really feel like being happy, or didn't feel like being around others. You preferred to stay home. 8, missing opportunities for healthier relationship. Yeah, if you're allowing somebody to be there, take up space, you'll never get the person that's truly for you, or the person that brings or know how to have a healthy relationship. So don't be afraid. Forget the loneliness. Don't be afraid to let go of something that's really not good for you. 9, physical health issues caused by prolonged stress. You hear people just stressing so much, they're physically sick. 10, becoming addicted to the cycle of chaos, apologies. And we had a whole episode on that. Apology versus change. Like, what does that look like? You gonna keep saying you sorry? Where's the change? The change shows me that you're truly sorry. All right. To sum up that, one of the most dangerous addictive patterns isn't always drugs or alcohol. That's your obvious. It could be people. Yeah, you heard me. An addictive pattern can be people. Sometimes we become addicted to potential instead of what's reality. We confuse inconsistency with passion. Trauma. We talk about them trauma bonds. Trauma with love. Like we just last week was saying, are you in love or are you attached? We also might be addicted to surviving with living. A toxic relationship can become an emotional addiction because you have that cycle of hurt, apology, reconciliation, and hope. It releases powerful emotions. You hoping that he proposed. You hoping that he choose you. It can release powerful emotions that are difficult to break away from. The longer the cycle continues, the more normal dysfunction begins to feel. I have another question, y'all. I want you to think about this. For those that might have experienced this, what kept you in a relationship longer than you should have? What kept you there? Because we just went over some pros and cons. But what kept you there? Did you stay because of love, fear, guilt, or hope? What did staying cost you emotionally, spiritually, financially, or mentally? If you finally left, what did you gain? If you were one of the ones to get out of your toxic relationship, if you finally left, what did you gain? For me, I gained peace. I gained clarity. Hell, I gained or regained a whole new life. But how do you know the difference between fighting for a relationship and fighting to keep an unhealthy pattern alive? How do you know the difference between the two? Because automatically a person might just say, you got to fight for your relationship. Yeah. But is it one on a positive path? Or is it one on a negative path? Or as we say, toxic or unhealthy path? That would be the question. That's what you want to find out first before you encourage somebody to fight for it or to stay. Find out what's really going on. What's the root of the problem? Think about this. Every day that you stay in a toxic situation, you're paying something. The question isn't whether there's a cost, because we know you're paying something. It's whether the price is your peace. In Addictive Patterns, my book, I remind readers that healing begins when we stop normalizing what hurts us. Oh, that's just such and such. Oh, that's just how he is. Okay. That don't mean I have to deal with it. That don't mean I have to accept it. So again, let's stop normalizing what hurts us. Let's talk about it. Let's speak on it. Let's see how we can make some corrections. Let's break the pattern. Because breaking the pattern isn't about giving up on, say, love. It's about refusing to give up on you, putting you first. I say all the time, women, if you're not okay, guess what? Look around. You think your household gonna be okay? Hopefully, you all got something out of today's session. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to iHeartRadio, YouTube, and Spotify. Have a good one.